Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the upcoming price increases. But before we do, this video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so as January comes to an end and we roll into February, if you've been around this hobby for any amount of time, since we closed down the world and inflation's been out of control, every year Games Workshop has announced the inevitable price increase. But before we jump in and take a look at this article, I want to point out that this video is from the 9th of February 2023. And obviously it is 2024 right now. But when Games Workshop makes the announcement, especially since a lot of stuff has been out of stock on a regular basis, it becomes almost impossible to get what you want before the actual price increase goes into effect, unless your local store already has it or you're able to grab it from an online retailer or something like that. And as soon as the announcement is made, everybody else is thinking the same thing you are. Let me snatch this up before the price goes up on it. So the reason we're taking a look at this article is to try to get ahead of the almost inevitable price increases. Now, regardless if you think it's good or bad, obviously most people think it's bad. Games Workshop already charges a ridiculous amount of money for their toys. The fact of the matter is, even though inflation has come down for the most part, year over year, everything is just continuing to get more expensive. And at the heart of it all is bad government and money printing, coupled with energy and labor prices continuing to rise. This video is obviously speculation, but I hope I'm wrong. And a lot of people say that in like a smug way, but I actually hope I'm wrong and Games Workshop doesn't raise prices this year. But they have the last few years in a row, so we might as well at least be prepared for it. So let's take a look at the February 9th, 2023 article and expect that we're probably going to get something in the next week or so as we roll into February 2024. Pricing update. We're sure it hasn't escaped your notice that a lot of things are more expensive than they used to be. Food, materials, transport, essentials, and luxuries alike. Stuff costs more to make and more to move, and Warhammer is not immune to these changes. This means that from the 6th of March, we'll be increasing some prices. And keep in mind, this is the 6th of March, 2023. So assuming we get this same type of article in about 10 days, that's going to give us about 35 days before the price increases will likely go into effect. And regardless of what Games Workshop actually says in this article, we know that it basically turned out to be a lie, and most things went up substantially more than they claimed they would. And things that they claimed would not go up did in fact go up. So like it or not, get mad at this video, get mad at me or your local store or Games Workshop. You're going to have to make a decision. Are you just going to buy less because everything's more expensive? Are you going to buy nothing and just give up on the hobby and game you love? Or are you going to suck it up and adapt accordingly? And I know I'm probably going to complain, be a little salty and moan. Angry that there's things I've been trying to get all year long that still haven't come out yet. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to be quitting. So Games Workshop says the average change for plastic kits is about 6%. As an example of what you can expect, a Battle Sister squad goes up $1.50 from 36 pounds to $37.50. We understand that no one likes a price rise. We've done our best to keep prices down on some of our hobby essentials, and we're giving you a heads up now so you have plenty of time to take advantage of the current prices. So that being said, we know that last year, after they said everything was going to go up on average 6%, that realistically it went up about 10 and in some cases up to 20%. Now, I don't expect them to just straight up raise the prices 10% or 20% across the board, but don't be surprised when certain things go up by that much. And realistically, the whole 6% is basically what they say because it doesn't sound that bad. If they came out and told us the truth that things were going to go up on average 10, 15, or 20%, we'd be furious. 6%, it's enough to make us salty. We all complain a bit. There's some grumblings online, but everybody just continues doing what they do without any actual behavior changes. So that being said, they then go into what is changing: plastic miniatures, forgeworld and resin miniatures, standard and artificer citadel brushes, and spray paints. And then what is not changing: starter sets, paint pots, citadel tools, codexes, rulebooks, and battle tomes, synthetic STC brushes. And while they were definitely honest about what was going to be going up as far as plastic miniatures, resin, spray paints, all that stuff, they for sure lied, or at least sort of bent the truth about some of the other stuff. For instance, they didn't necessarily raise the price on the existing starter sets, but when the new starter sets came out, they went up substantially, closer to 15% over the previous editions. And while for the most part they didn't raise the prices on paint sets, they really only sell 2 paint sets. And as far as codexes, rulebooks, and battle tomes, they didn't necessarily raise the price on existing codexes, rulebooks, and battle tomes. But again, when the new stuff came out, it came out at a higher price. So books that used to be $60 for the new games coming out went up to $70 and $80. So regardless of what they say they're going to do with the actual prices and what is and isn't going to go up, we know that one way or the other, the prices are creeping up slowly but surely. Some things are just much more blatant because they're already part of the catalog. Other things, the price goes up as they replace it with new items. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. So like I said, this video is from the 9th of February, 2023, and it is currently January 29th, 2024. So this is last year's price increase announcement. But we know if there's one thing Games Workshop does, it's follow the same old roadmap, the same cookie cutter plans year after year after year. So that means we should expect in the next 2 weeks a very similar article to this come out. Now maybe Games Workshop will say, well, things are only going up 3% or 4% or 5%. Maybe it won't happen at all. But the fact of the matter is, knowledge is power. So if there's things out there that you're excited about, that you want to pick up, if you have an opportunity to buy them now, I'm not trying to create any FOMO or extra demand or anything like that. Just know there's a very good possibility by the time this is announced, theoretically in the next 2 weeks, you're only going to have about 35 days or 5 weeks to get what you want before the new price increases go into effect. Which means if there's stuff you're going to want to buy, if you're planning on buying things that are currently out, currently available, likely the sooner you buy them, the better. Now again, I know these type of videos are never popular. The comment section is going to be full of negativity and I totally get it. Games Workshop sales are at record levels, their profits and margins are at record levels, and part of the way that they maintain those and continue to increase them is by raising prices faster than the inflation hits them. So regardless of the fact that inflation has come down, the prices have not returned to the old levels. It just means that they're going up slower than they have been the last couple years. So if inflation was 10% year over year, and now it's only 5% year over year, the prices don't go back to where they were a year ago. It just means that what was $10 a couple years ago with 10% inflation goes up to $11, and then with 5% inflation goes up to $11.55. So the actual prices are not going down just because inflation is falling. It just means that the rate of change going forward, the rate of price increases has slowed down. And regardless of what the governments tell you, the fact of the matter is inflation is still high. Prices are still going up, and I fully expect Games Workshop to take every bit of advantage of that once again, to continue making sure that there are record high sales, record high profits, and they maintain their record high margins. So yeah, just wanted to talk about this, give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Obviously, I care about the community. I hope that I'm wrong about this and it doesn't happen, but just be ready for it and know that if there are things out there that you want to get a hold of, there's a good possibility if you're not able to get them before the article is announced, before the price increases go into effect, at least I warned you. So let me know what you think down below. Always appreciate to hear back from you guys in the comments. Do you think I'm going to be completely wrong about this? Do you appreciate the heads up? Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. Make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I really do hope I'm wrong on this one, but just be ready for it. And I'm out of here.